This is Matt for Into Boxing. Delighted to be joined by big Shane Fury. Shane, before we get on to that, you're looking well. I know you said you've put a bit of weight on, but I don't think so, pal.
Yeah, I've gone anorexic, mate. But listen, it's all good.
Dark colours and that.
Yeah, dark colours. Wear the navy blues.
Look, we're here for Joyce, Joseph Parker. You spend a lot of time around Joe Parker. He's sort of part of the family now, isn't he? What do you make of this fight, and what do you make of Joseph's mindset coming into this?
Yeah, I've spent a lot of time around with Joe, not just for this camp. It's gone. Do you know Joseph Parker is just a nice person, and he's hard not to like. But before I met Joseph Parker, we spent time with Joyce. Yeah. And, equally as nice person. Yeah. Wherever he is, I make my way over to him and shake his hand and give him a cuddle. Listen.
There's no beef here, is there? There's not going to be no slagging off from either side.
No beef at all. And Tyson feels the exact same way as I do. And he's when people call Joyce a lump, he is a lump. Yeah. He's a lump. He's 6'7" and 20 stone. That makes you a lump. But he's a lump what can box. Mm-hmm. Now being 19 stone and 6'7", shrink him down to 6'2" and put him at 14 stone, he'd look like Muhammad Ali. It's just the size and the coordination. It don't make him look as good as what he is. But the timing, the jab, the boxing ability. There's not a person on our on Joe Parker's team what's taking it lightly. It's just that we're backing Parker because the mindset he's in, and it's a mindset. You can't just flick the switch. It can't just be. I can't just say I'm going to go and run a marathon now, or let's say I'm going to go run half a marathon. Yeah. Fuck, I'm not going to stop. I'll die before I stop. I'll say it, but physically doing it, and the mindset. I'll get into 3 mile. I think, God, it's killing me this, and the mindset easy switch the other side. The mindset what Joe's developed, it's took him probably neck into 2 years to develop. And the mix between that and the training what he's been doing with Andy is, I think, combined to be an handful for anyone.
I was just about to say, how key is Andy Lee in this? Because he's not just a trainer. You mentioned in the other interview, he's a teacher, very well spoken. I can imagine him going tooth and nail with all this with Joe. How key is Andy Lee to Joe getting the job done on Saturday night?
Well, like you just said, he's a teacher, and I've been around a lot of trainers in Tyson's career, and there's only ever been a few what's actually been teachers. Yeah. What will get you throwing your punches correct. Tyson is a big man and always been able to punch the bag and hit the pads and everything else, and hit as hard as anyone else. But when he boxed, he never trained for that. I'm going totally off course here. No. But Tyson's always been able to punch. But when he's trained to punch and balance right and the little things what we haven't heard of with Sugar and Sugar, Andy's is the same as Sugar. Yeah, the teachers you can develop in realistic terms. You can probably put 20% more power on top of what you've already got. So he's a teacher, and there's game plans, and he's had good training. So the moral of the story is, with the stuff he's had, with the training, the conditioning, the nutritionist and everything else, his mindset, if he can't do it Saturday night, Joe Joyce is a better man than him. Yeah. But it yet to be seen, and I think I am back in, when it first got made, I was one of them what was 50-50. I had chats with my brothers and that there, and Tyson and so on, and how the fight was going, and I was 50-50. But the closer the fight's getting, I'm backing Joe.
Can Joe Parker?
Joe Parker.
Can Joe Parker put a dent in Joyce to the fact where we could see him get stopped? Because he looks like he can walk through a brick wall, and a sledgehammer needs to take him out.
There's no such thing, and Joyce knows this as well. There's no such thing as being Iron Man in heavyweight boxing, because at some point it's like chipping a brick. Yeah. You hit it often enough. A drip makes holes in rocks. Yeah. If you were to keep on hitting it, you get hit often enough and regular enough, you're gonna go. But saying no one's under the illusion that Joe Joyce is gonna walk forward and be hit with every punch underneath the sun. He did get it, but when he fought a big puncher, Daniel Dubois, he come out boxing. Yeah. No one knew he could do that, but he did. So Joe Parker's got to be prepared for what's coming, and I do believe he is. He's put his best foot forward, and like I said, and I've said to Joe, if you can't do it Saturday night, you're never going to be able to do it because he's had all his training. And listen, there's no better Joe Parker.
Yeah, he looks in great condition, I've got to say as well. Let's just quickly talk about the fight that was being offered out in public. Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, 60-40, etc. A lot of things going around saying 10% left to do, but that 10% could be bloody massive in terms of boxing. Does this fight get done? What's your feeling towards it? You're as close to him as anybody. Does it happen?
Yeah, when we was talking about this, me and Tyson says to me, I was going on about this because we was on about percentages before they went there, and I said, if you want this fight to happen, you got to do A, Y, and Z.
Percentage for a
100%. But that wasn't the issue. There was different chats. We'll not go into. But and then he said to me, it makes no difference about the percentages, about anything else. He said, if both men want it, it'll happen. The ball is in their court. We want the fight. There's no. Tyson's got the aura about him. He's who's Tyson avoided in his whole career? There's no one Tyson avoided. It's about timing for things. So if both men want it, it'll happen. We want it 100% because we're ultra confident.
I think he wants it.
The closer it's getting, the more I'm persuaded that he might want it, but the people around him might not want it. If it gets made, I'll be happy, and I'll be proved wrong. But if I had to put a little bet on it now to be negative, I would say it's not happening.
It's quite soon as well.
Yeah, we've got 9 weeks Saturday. For promotion, and both men need to get the mindset right to go into camp and so on and sort everything out. If it's not done this week, it's not happening. But Tyson will be fighting on the 3rd of December anyway.
I know you've been asked this already, but it's only come out in the last hour or so. Usyk comments about Tyson wanting to avoid him, being scared of him. I mean, Tyson came back from 20 stone to fight the biggest puncher in heavyweight history. So, what's your thoughts on that?
Listen, he's got to say something. He's made a mistake. What Usyk wanted, he wanted Tyson to stay out the ring for another 6 months and then go in inactive and so on. But Tyson's not going to wait round, and no disrespect to Usyk because he's a great champion. But when them two fight, it is a Tyson Fury show. It's not an Usyk show. So we ain't waiting round for people. He got offered the fight. The fight would have been a super fight in Saudi Arabia, and it never happened. He come out and said that he didn't want it. It was next year. Yeah. So now Tyson's moving on and got a big fight on the horizon, whether it's Joshua or someone else. It's he must feel like, I don't know, a bit sick, a bit pissed off. This wasn't supposed to happen and so on. So he had his chance, but we will see him in the first quarter next year.
I'm looking forward to it. Look, Big Shane, thanks for always giving us some of your time. Appreciate it as usual, and look forward to seeing you fight night.
God bless you, I'll be there. I think it's one of the best. Matter of fact, it's the best fight, barring the top three. 3 or 4 fighting each other. That can be made in boxing.
100%. Appreciate your time, bud.